August 14, 2025, 11:47 p.m. Donetsk Oblast, eastern Ukraine. Russia's 4th Guards Tank Division rolls south through the summer steppe. 127 T-90M Pro-Rive tanks, 89 BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles, and 34 self-propelled howitzers. Total column value, $1.2 billion. Their mission, punch through Ukrainian lines and capture the strategic rail hub at Pokrovsk within 72 hours. Intelligence reports clear roads ahead. What they don't know is that Ukraine's 93rd Mechanized Brigade has spent 3 weeks preparing the kill zone. No trenches, no visible defenses, just empty fields in the warm August night. At midnight, Russia's most powerful armored formation will drive straight into a trap designed by mathematics, not muscle. 42 Ukrainian M777 howitzers, guided by 7 counter-battery radars and NATO satellite feeds, have pre-ranged every meter of the highway. The Russians are driving into a firing solution calculated down to the second. Can Ukraine's outnumbered artillery crews destroy a billion-dollar column before dawn? Or will Russian armor break through and shatter the Eastern Front? 11:47 p.m. Colonel Sergei Baranov commands the Russian spearhead from his T-90M command tank. Call sign, Ural 1. His formation stretches 8.2 kilometers along Highway M04, moving in 3 company groups. Lead element, 42 tanks. Center, mechanized infantry and support vehicles. Rear, artillery and supply trucks carrying 340,000 liters of diesel fuel. Russian doctrine dictates overwhelming force. Baranov's orders are simple. Advance at 40 kilometers per hour, suppress any resistance, and reach Pokrovsk by August 17th. Air support is promised but limited. Ukrainian air defenses have grown increasingly lethal throughout the summer offensive. The column crosses into the kill zone at 11:52 p.m. What Baranov doesn't see, 12 kilometers to the west, Ukrainian forward observers lie concealed in camouflaged positions, thermal optics trained on the highway. Every vehicle is being laser ranged, classified, and logged into a fire control network linking 42 artillery pieces, 3 HIMARS launchers, and a targeting cell operating from a basement in Kramatorsk. The Ukrainians have mapped this 14-kilometer stretch of highway down to individual potholes. Every artillery piece has 6 pre-calculated firing solutions loaded. Ammunition is staged, 2,400 155mm high explosive rounds, 180 cluster munitions, and 24 precision-guided Excalibur shells worth $112,000 each. At 11:58 p.m., the Ukrainian fire control officer, callsign Koshka 6, receives the final authorization from Brigade Command. His response is 2 words: execute. Mollet. Operation Sledgehammer begins 12:01 a.m. The first salvo arrives without warning. 42 M777 howitzers fire simultaneously, a technique called time on target that ensures every shell arrives in the same 3-second window. The night erupts. The lead Russian company, traveling in tight formation for mutual protection, takes 126 high explosive rounds across 400 meters of highway. The mathematics are brutal. Each 155mm shell creates a lethal fragmentation radius of 50 meters. Overlapping blast zones turn the road into a killing field. 11 T-90M tanks are immobilized in the first minute. One takes a direct hit through the engine deck, its diesel fuel igniting instantly. Flames reach 40 meters high, silhouetting the surrounding vehicles. 3 BMPs are flipped onto their sides by near misses, their infantry compartments crushed. Survivors bail out into secondary explosions as ammunition cooks off. Colonel Baranov's radio net explodes with screaming. Contact. Artillery. Mass casualties. His tank commander reports 18 vehicles burning in the lead formation. He orders dispersion, standard counter-battery doctrine, but the column is boxed in. Drainage ditches to the west, minefields to the east. The highway becomes a concrete cage. At 12:04 a.m., Ukrainian counter-battery radars detect Russian return fire. 6 2S-19 Meste S howitzers attempting to suppress Ukrainian guns. The response is instantaneous. 3 HIMARS launchers fire a total of 18 M31 GPS-guided rockets. Flight time, 97 seconds. The Russian artillery battery ceases to exist. 6 self-propelled guns, worth $37 million combined, are reduced to burning chassis. 27 crew members die before they can fire a third salvo. This is the doctrine Ukraine has perfected: shoot, displace, survive. Ukrainian gun crews fire 4-round salvos, then reposition 800 meters in under 3 minutes. Russian counter-battery fire hits empty fields. 12:14 a.m. The second phase targets leadership and logistics. Ukrainian spotters have identified 3 command vehicles by their antenna arrays and electronic signatures. 24 Excalibur precision rounds, each accurate to within 2 meters, are allocated across these targets. At 12:16 a.m., Colonel Burinov's T-90M takes a direct Excalibur strike through the turret roof. The 11-kilogram warhead penetrates the reactive armor and detonates inside the fighting compartment. The tank's ammunition carousel explodes 0.4 seconds later, blowing the 46-ton turret 18 meters into the air. Burinov and his crew are killed instantly. With command decapitated, the Russian column fractures. Individual company commanders attempt independent action, but Ukrainian fires intensify. Cluster munitions rain down on infantry fighting vehicles. Each M483A1 shell disperses 88 sub-munitions across 200 meters. BMP-3s, with their thin top armor, are shredded. Infantry fleeing burning vehicles are cut down by fragmentation. The fuel convoy, traveling at the column's rear, becomes the third target. 8 tanker trucks, each carrying 42,500 liters of diesel, are struck by incendiary rounds. The resulting explosions create fireballs visible from 30 kilometers away. Burning fuel spreads across the highway, igniting abandoned vehicles and cutting off retreat routes. By 12:27 a.m., the Russian 4th Guards Tank Division has ceased to exist as a fighting force. Survivors cluster in small groups, attempting to organize evacuation. Ukrainian artillery shifts to interdiction fires, blocking roads, destroying assembly areas, preventing any coordinated withdrawal. Russian helicopters, 4 K-52 attack helicopters, attempt to provide cover, but Ukrainian Stinger teams are positioned along likely flight paths. 2 helicopters are shot down in the first pass. The remaining aircraft abort, unable to operate in the artillery-saturated environment. 1:43 a.m. By 2 a.m., Ukrainian guns fall silent. Reconnaissance drones survey the devastation, their thermal cameras revealing a 14-kilometer corridor of destruction. Intelligence analysts begin damage assessment using real-time imagery. The numbers are staggering. Russian losses: 89 T-90M tanks destroyed or abandoned. Unit cost: $4.5 million each, equals $400.5 million. 67 BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles destroyed. Unit cost: $3.2 million each, equals $214.4 million. 28 self-propelled artillery pieces destroyed. Average cost: $5.8 million, equals $162.4 million. 43 support vehicles, including fuel tankers and ammunition carriers. $63 million. Estimated casualties: 680 killed, 340 wounded, 220 missing or captured. Total Russian losses: $840.3 million in equipment, plus irreplaceable trained crews. Ukrainian expenditure: 2,847 artillery shells fired, $17.1 million, 24 Excalibur precision rounds, $2.7 million, 18 HIMARS rockets, $3.2 million. Total ammunition cost: $23 million. The ratio: for every dollar Ukraine spent, Russia lost $36.50 in equipment. Ukrainian casualties: 4 artillery crew wounded by Russian counter-battery fire, 0 killed. At 2:15 a.m., Ukrainian engineers move forward to mine the wreckage, ensuring abandoned vehicles cannot be recovered. Tow teams drag intact T-90Ms back across Ukrainian lines. 8 captured tanks will be refurbished and pressed into service. Russia's most powerful armored thrust of August 2025 has been annihilated without Ukraine committing a single infantry platoon to close combat. August 15th, 7 a.m. As dawn breaks over the wreckage, Russian commanders across the front receive the same order: halt all offensive operations pending investigation. The loss of an entire tank division in a single night forces a complete operational reassessment. In Moscow, the Ministry of Defense convenes emergency sessions. How did Ukraine achieve such lopsided destruction? The answer terrifies Russian planners. NATO satellite feeds, real-time targeting networks, and Ukrainian crews trained to NATO artillery standards. Russia's doctrine, massed armor advances, has become obsolete against precision fires. The economic impact compounds the military disaster. Each destroyed T-90M requires 14 months to replace at current Russian production rates. Russia's tank factories can produce approximately 6 T-90Ms per month. Replacing 89 tanks requires 14.8 months, assuming no other losses and full production capacity. Russian defense spending must now allocate an additional $840 million just to restore the Fourth Guards to pre-battle strength. That's $840 million not spent on missiles, aircraft, or ammunition for other fronts. In Kiev, President Zelensky's morning address is brief. Last night, 42 artillery pieces defeated Russia's finest armored division. The math is simple. Their doctrine is suicide. Our patience is steel. NATO analysts note the strategic shift. Ukraine's artillery, once viewed as a defensive tool, has become an offensive weapon system capable of destroying massed formations before they can close with Ukrainian lines. The implications ripple through Western defense ministries. Precision fires, network sensors, and disciplined crews defeat armor superiority. By late August, Western intelligence confirms that Russia has postponed its planned autumn offensive across the entire Donetsk axis. The psychological impact of Operation Sledgehammer reverberates through Russian officer corps. Junior commanders openly question orders to concentrate forces, knowing Ukrainian artillery can deliver grid-square devastation within minutes. 3 weeks later, 3 weeks after Operation Sledgehammer, Russian armored operations along the entire Donetsk front remain frozen. Commanders refuse to concentrate forces, knowing Ukrainian artillery can mass fires faster than Russian armor can disperse. The stalemate hardens, not from lack of Russian equipment, but from fear of Ukrainian mathematics. Ukrainian artillery crews have proven something Western doctrine has theorized for decades. In the age of precision targeting and networked warfare, the side that shoots first, shootsy, accurately, and shoots from cover wins, regardless of how many tanks the enemy brings. Russia's response is predictable: disperse forces, increase spacing, improve electronic warfare, but every countermeasure reduces offensive capability. Tanks spaced 200 meters apart can't concentrate combat power. Formations that advance slowly can't achieve breakthrough. The dilemma is strategic. How do you attack an enemy who can calculate your death from beyond visual range? The answer, as of September 2025, remains elusive for Russian commanders. Ukraine's 93rd Mechanized Brigade, meanwhile, has replenished ammunition stocks and begun pre-ranging new sectors of highway. The M777 howitzers sit silent in dispersed positions, waiting. Because in modern war, the deadliest weapon isn't the tank with the thickest armor. It's the calculator that can plot its destruction from 12 kilometers away. If you want to understand how Ukraine continues to defy expectations against a numerically superior enemy, the answer is simple: superior tactics, superior training, and the mathematics of precision warfare. Like, subscribe, and share this analysis to support in-depth military coverage that goes beyond headlines.